from me. State of the Union, shut the fuck up. Sorry ass motherfucker, stay away from me.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Bonghits with Jessie. I am your host, Jessie. Although I never drink coffee, it's always the energy drinks for me. I don't have a promotion yet, but give it up for energy drinks. Thank you. Perfect. And give it up for lower pipes, since my pipe is still sitting and floating in a thing of alcohol. Anyways, this is Coffee and Bonghits. Off to kind of a rough start. Let's get it going, though. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ashtray.
Resist with a close fist. It's time to resist. Resist.
What? No. We're going to fix this. I don't know what just happened. No, I need my little time. Oh, I don't know what just happened right there. That's horrible. Why does that happen? That's 2 days in a row that's happened. All right, we're just going to skip it, I guess. You guys can just watch me. Watch me with a bull, I guess. Welcome to Coffee and Bonghits with Jessie. I am Jessie. This is not coffee. This is a bong hit. And let's start the show, shall we? Okie doke. I hope everybody's having a good day. Today is Thursday. Thursday is an important day of the week because Thursday is what is going on. Oh man. Thursday is a day where you get to decide, did your goals that you set in the beginning of the week, were they worth it? Did you are they something that you should continue to work through the week on, or should you just give up and take a 3-day weekend? Right? Everybody knows the 3-day weekend is the move. And why are you going to just beat yourself to death? Forgot about that part. Why are you just going to beat yourself to death? What's up, guys? Man, it's good to see everybody today. Today is a great day. Let's just get into it, yo. There's a lot to talk about. And we're probably going to get some guests today. It's noisy in here. I can't figure out how to turn off some of the alerts on some of the devices that I need because I'm not a science fish, right? I give it up for scientists, though, really. The scientists are the only people that can help us figure out what's going on in the world. Or you could listen to the guy you went to high school with that has truck nuts. Truck nuts don't get a laugh. Nothing. Get up for truck nuts. All right. The people who make truck nuts are going to be really happy I said that for them. What's up, Rayvon? Hey, good shit, man. We'll take the bong hit in a minute. So look, why is today such a good day? You might say it's a good day because Steve Bannon is in custody right now. He was taken under arrest by the Southern District of New York. But it's bigger than just that. Let's go into the news and look at a couple of these headlines real quick. Yeah, this is going to be glorious. We're just going to go right to it. We don't usually switch to full on news, but remember Thursday's not that big a deal. Just man, if you're still pushing, like if Wednesday you're still on 3 days of success with some of these goals, then Thursday's an important ass day so that you can just smash that shit and be done by Friday, right? But if you've already kind of fucked off the week, then Thursday's your day to be real honest with yourself, right? And be like, yo, man, did I really do enough to compromise a 3-day weekend? Okay, so here we go. I don't have the graphic right now, but this would say, this is my news, not your news. And it will be brought to you by Fuck 12 News. And that needs to go. Stop. Urgh. You know, if I slide my laptop over just the tiniest bit, then then my buttons are all off from where they're usually pushed. Boom, I just want to put that Fuck 12 logo up. Was it that hard? Shit. All right, here we go. Top news. CNN wins the headline battle today. Steve Bannon and 3 others charged with fraud in border wall fundraising campaign. Oh, that makes me a happy guy, because so here's the thing to understand is that when Mueller released the Mueller report, right? Stay with me. When Mueller released the Mueller report, it was very specific that he was only allowed to look into Russian collusion, right? He made it very clear that everything else that he stumbled upon during his role as the investigator would be forwarded to the Southern District of New York. Okay, he made that very clear to everybody. Then, after some time, Bill Barr told everybody that the head of the Southern District of New York was going to resign. And then the head of the Southern District of New York, I don't remember his name, but he said, dude, I'm not going to resign. What are you talking about? And then the president said, that guy's a dick. We need to fire him. And it was like, wait. You just fired the head of the Southern District of New York for insubordination because he refuted a lie told about himself by Bill Barr, the Attorney General. So then it was like, the question was, okay, so is the Southern District of New York out of the game now? What's happening to all the stuff that they found? Are they still going to prosecute? What about the inaugural ball? Every single member of the Trump family, including Mike Pence, stole money from the inaugural ball. Rudy Giuliani took money from Russia so that Rudy Giuliani could work with Lev Parnas so that he could dig up Ukrainian dirt on Joe Biden. Who do you think paid Rudy Giuliani for that time that he was working pro bono for the president? Come on, pay attention, people. We have a president where I won't say he was illegally elected, but we have a president that is guaranteed, as the Senate Investigative Committee just released 2 days ago. The president was trying to build a goddamn hotel in Russia. He is Putin's bitch. He's been Putin's bitch every single opportunity he's taken. And now the chips are starting to fall. There is not going to be an election. What's up, everybody? You guys, it's really hard for me to see everybody's comments because it's like shrunk, and I don't know how to unshrink it because the software is hard. I'm doing my best, but we're gonna crank through this. Real biased journalism. Anyways, so the question was, well, is the Southern District of New York going to die, or are they going to continue to keep prosecuting? Are they going to continue to keep investigating? Because let me tell you this, and this is going to be the only hope to save the United States, is New York, the state of New York, New York City, the NYPD, What, the NYPD is like the 5th largest army in the world. The same way that Governor Cuomo took a leadership position in the COVID-19, whatever the hell it's called, the pandemic. The leadership role that he took will be required again because New York can stand alone on its own as its own entity, right? And it can insist that elections still take place in New York City. And the Southern District of New York can still issue warrants. Now, then if the West Coast solidifies the resistance against Donald Trump, we're looking at seriously the very beginnings of a civil war. And the fact that Robert Mueller said very specifically that under the Department of Justice guidelines, he is not allowed to indict a sitting president means that if Donald Trump is not a sitting president, he will be indicted. He is a fucking Russian pawn. Trump did get that endorsement of the NYPD, but the NYPD is not going to turn. They have Steve Bannon in effing custody right now. Somebody send me a picture of Steve Bannon in handcuffs, because that will make me a happy camper. But more happy than individually Steve Bannon going down is the happiness that I find from just knowing that the SDNY, what a fucking crazy world that we live in. I'm like cheering for the prosecutor's department. The other day, I voiced my pleasure at Kamala Harris being a candidate in this new fangled world where we're one step away from The Rock being the president. Why can't Mr. T be the president? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Why can't Mr. T be the president? People are like, oh, The Rock. I said, oh, The Rock. Right? Nobody wants. Right now we got a president that's smoking rock. Give it up for crack cocaine, y'all. All right, so anyways, let's get back to the Steve Bannon story. Steve Bannon and 3 others charged with fraud in the border wall fundraising campaign. Fox News said Steve Bannon, We Build the Wall organizers arrested, charged with defrauding donors. CBS News has the headline, Steve Bannon indicted for fraud in border wall fundraising scheme. And the New York Times says Steve Bannon is charged with fraud. That is good to me. That is good to me. Of course, Trump will pardon him like he did Roger Stone, or he'll get home treatment for the coronavirus like Paul Manafort did, or Michael Cohen. But guaranteed, man, the president is not trying to have his whole family on some 5 tall bunk beds. Oh my God, yeah. This oatmeal's great. It's the finest oatmeal. Finest oatmeal in all prisons. Okay, so let's keep it moving real quick. I'll try not to hold up too long. Sarah Sanders says the DNC speakers don't want to talk about Joe Biden. They only want to attack Trump. That's the fucking no the other day. Why would you want to talk about a sniffer? You know, I played a game last night. I was like, I played a game last night that was like, okay, what parody songs can we insert Joe Biden? What parody songs can we insert Joe Biden into? I was like, he ain't sniffing. He's Joe Biden. Yeah, it's not a good look. So I wouldn't want to talk about Joe Biden. I would only be, it's like when people accuse a racist of being a racist and that person's defense is to point out somebody else that's racist. Like, what? This is huge news too right here. Judge tosses out the president's bid to halt a subpoena from the Manhattan DA looking into his tax return. That means, according to the New York Times, Trump must turn over tax return to the DA. Yo, that's big bucks, no whammies. Big bucks, no whammies. Big bucks, no whammies. Keep it pushing. But look, where's that at again? That's Manhattan District Court. I'm telling you. It's going down, and it's going to fracture this country. And the problem with that, I wish the Civil War could be won by trivia. Right? Like, all right, let's play Jeopardy. And whoever wins Final Jeopardy gets to be the president. I'm serious though. Yo, give it up for Alex Trebek real quick, y'all. Changing the whole game. Get it? Because he made it backwards. So here we go. This is important right here. California wildfires more than double in size, force, and degrade air quality. Tens of thousands to evacuate. We have a correspondent down in California right now who's very close to the affected areas, but that person does not like being on camera. So we're going to have to get like a Muppet or a ventriloquist dummy or something to make it work, right? Something. We just need something. Okay. Let's get back to this. Shit. How did I do that? How do I always do that? Let me go back. So this should do this. All right. But then I can't get that. So, oh my God. Texas County GOP Chairman mocks Billie Eilish's DNC appearance as not normal. Man, I would not be mad if people from Texas told me I was not normal. All right, let's switch it over and peep game on the Twitter real quick. Let's see what's going on. That's the pulse of the city, plus the pulse of the world. And they got cool videos on Twitter. So let's see who's the winner. Cam. I saw Cam first. My man Cam. I sure do miss that dude. I'll never forget me and Cameron and Sarah Long. We were at Standing Rock. This is the dopest story, man. We're at Standing Rock and Sarah's in jail. Me and Cameron got the keys to the minivan, and we're at the casino. And it's a fab key, right? So you don't actually plug it in. You just have to have like the keychain with you, and then you can push start the rental van. So speaking of rental vans, I'm going to DC with the Ninjaneer and the Fuck 12 team. So you want to catch that real journalism. You'll be able to see the show live on the road every morning, and you'll be able to see my live streams from Washington, D.C. But for that other content, for that other good shit that you're going to get in random cities and stuff that you're not going to get elsewhere, including when I go back to Kansas City. What up, Kansas City? Yes. Major love to the 5 Radio XL. Hey, go get that app. Go get the 5XL app. I should have a commercial for it. I loaded them up. I put them all on a roll together, and I can't find them on my laptop to upload them. I'm terrible at this job. But in my defense, this shit is hard. Okay, so look. We're at the casino. Sarah is in jail in, is it Bismarck? No, Bismarck isn't where I think it might be. I think it's just south of Bismarck. Is there another town? What's the capital of North Dakota? I hate North Dakota. I try to suppress all these memories. Anyways, I had just learned about Palo Santo, right? And so I was just learning about vibrations. And Cameron's like, yo, we got to find the minivan keys or we're not going to get out of here. But we knew they were somewhere on us because the windows were working, right? So we're like, well, the key is somewhere here, but we need to find it to get out of here. And I was like, bro, man, you gotta just burn some Palo Santo and get your vibrations right. I didn't understand like what I was doing at that time, and then we burned them, and then we burned them, and it was all good. Cam found the keys immediately upon filling the van with Palo Santo, and ever since then, man, Palo Santo's my shit. Okay, so let's go back. Cam was the first one, but he won't be the last one. Don't know what that means. Don't need a Showtime ad that's using patriotic schemes. Okay, Taserface, who's that Navy veteran that got beat up? He just endorsed Joe Biden for president. All right. Whoa. Here's one. This is important. The Internal Police Review Board is aware of video footage circulating on social media that shows a Portland Police Bureau officer striking a community member multiple times in the head with a baton during a protest. The IPR has opened an investigation into this incident. Well, you know, I've said this a million times that a review board, a citizens advisory committee, a panel, a council, those recommendations that come from those people are only they're only worth as much as the person who receives the recommendation views the recommendation, right? So you got to imagine that if Ted Wheeler and Commissioner Hardesty and maybe Commissioner Udaly, if they proposed a police review board, a new version of it, which I'm gonna tell you, new version, same as the old version. It's always just a little bit different, right? New name, same worthless process. If it's a dead end, right? It doesn't matter how good of a car you build if you just end up driving it off the cliff, right? I mean, shit. What are we talking about, man? Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me 10 years. Yeah, I know. Calm down. We try not to boo on this show that much. All right, let's keep it moving. There have been 5 nights of severe rioting by Moroccan immigrants across the Netherlands. Dutch police weren't so zealous when dealing with immigrant rioters. Whoa. Oh, damn, right across the face. Man, this is a real tweet right here. Y'all feeling this one? Tell me y'all ain't feeling this one. Blam, that's the truth. Izzy. Oh, man, Dodge Challenger Super Sport. Yeah, this is 3 hours ago. What's going on right here? Oh, my God. A new report from the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence offers a damning portrait of the people Donald Trump chose as his blah, blah, blahs. Let me make sure we got this real quick like this. And let me do this. Let me read this story to you real quick. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I'm glad I'm going to Washington, D.C., man. This might be like the final Mordor fight or whatever. Okay, let me read this story to you real quick. A new report from the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence offers a damning portrait of the people Donald Trump chose as his partners for potential projects in Russia. They include individuals with alleged connections to the mob, to Vladimir Putin, and to human trafficking. The group would comprise an extraordinary list of associates for any international businessman, let alone for the sitting president of the United States. The Trump Organization representatives did not respond to requests for comment. In 2016, Trump lawyer Alan Garten insisted that the business conducts through thorough due diligence on its outside partners. We do investigative vetting on everyone we do business with, he told Forbes at the time. We do background checks on an international level. We do background checks on a local level. We check every available database commonly used. We use outside experts who specialize in this area. And that's in addition to looking at the deal itself. So extensive vetting goes on. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Here are the details on the people connected to Trump. Felix Sater. This is the other dude, man. Randy Rhodes is always trying to tell you guys about this. Man, look, I'm going to go actually to this article. I'm going to just bring you guys back over here with me. We'll switch. I'll bring it up to this actual article, and you guys can read along with me, man. Boom. These are the Donald Trump's Russia people, man. I don't know if you can see it. Let me try to do this. Trump has long gotten heat for his association with Felix Sater, a managing director at a firm called Bayrock Group, which worked with the eventual president on projects in New York, Florida, and Arizona. In 1995, Sater finished a 15-month stint in prison for assault. 3 years later, he pleaded guilty to racketeering as part of a mafia-tied pump-and-dump stock scheme. He kept himself out of prison at that time by cooperating and sharing intelligence with the feds for more than a decade on subjects including the mob, North Korea, and Osama bin Laden. Tuesday's report outlines the sort of sources that Sater kept close to him. Sater began using his existing network, largely in Russia, to establish a network of contacts, including intelligence officers, military operatives, and personnel at military research facilities in various countries. The report states, Slater explained that he was in contact with mostly GRU, which is Russia's main intelligence director, guys. The report also offers additional details on the nature of Trump's relationship, blah, 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 blah. It's all coming out. It's all unraveling. The good guys are trying to fight too. You can find this article in Forbes. I'm not going to bore you with the details because they are boring. But we can go back to the Twitter real quick. Let me fix this. Just take a sec. I'm back on the Twitter again. This is the best finger. Everybody says, I got a great finger. All right, here comes a hurricane. I can't tell where this is, but it looks scary. Oh, man. Whoa. Dude, I don't know if the president knows, but there's somebody sneaking up on him that kind of looks like the lady from The Ring.
So at some point, we obviously will be gone. We've brought it down to a very, very low level. We deal with there are attacks. We take care of those attacks, and we take care of them very easily. Nobody has the weaponry we have. Nobody has the anything of what we have. We have the finest, the greatest military in the world. And when somebody hits us, we hit back harder than they hit us. So we handle it. In addition to that, Iraq has been very helpful where necessary. But we have been taking our troops out of Iraq fairly rapidly, and we look forward to the day when we don't have to be there, and hopefully Iraq can live their own lives and they can defend themselves, which they've been doing long before we got involved.
Hey, don't boo me, boo the guy, man. That's not on me. Don't boo the host. Okay, so check this out. I gotta remind you guys that this show, as always, the first hour is brought to you by our friends at standupandfightback.bigcartel.com. All the gear you're going to see me wearing in on the trip, that's going to be all stand up and fight back. Wait till they see me up in their little shop and save stores across the country. My fuck Nazi mask on. They're going to be like, wow, what is this guy? All right, here's a plug for Street Roots. It wasn't on purpose, but there you go. Get the Street Roots. Oregon wildfires burned throughout the state from the Columbia River Gorge to the California border. That's a terrible picture, but I also want to remind you that the bottom of our show is brought to you by Fuck 12 News. by the movement. Whoops. And by the movement. Hey, yo, it's Jessie Sponberg. I'm rocking with the movement. You can too. Every Sunday night, 10 p.m. only on KBOO, KBOO 90.7. Okay, and now is the time of the show, bottom of the first hour, where I need a refill. I need another bong hit. And since I still haven't went around to get a sponsor yet, I'm going to just remind you guys that every day in August, this bong hit right now is brought to you by Anteaters. Hey, kids, do you have a need for pest remediation this summer? Are you looking for an environmentally friendly solution that you can also cuddle with and become your very best friend? Get an anteater. Anteaters are great for removing ants, obviously, termites, potato bugs, spiders, and centipedes. And I know you're thinking, but Jesse, what about giant centipedes? Then get a giant anteater, man. Brought to you by God. Okay, last reminder, if you have small children in the house, then I recommend that you go and get them and bring them around the television so that they don't grow up to be little suckers who don't know how to take a proper bong hit, right? Hey, give it up one more time for anteaters, you guys. I love anteaters, but I really want to know, what are you smoking on this morning? Tell me. All right. Man, I always try to crack a joke and then take a bong hit. That is not the move, kids.
Would it be a drink? Yeah, because it would be attached to yeah, so it would be. I don't know. It might be a good idea.
Man, could you imagine how much shit I would get accomplished if I didn't smoke pot? Hold on real quick. Miss Leah? This is my assistant, Leah.
Yes, sir.
Could you get my vape right there?
Your vape?
Yeah, a nicotine vape. Hey, y'all, give it up one more time for Leah.
Did you have it on
Whoops.
camera?
No. You're not supposed to laugh at her, you guys. Give it up one more time for Leah. You guys are terrible. Give it up for Leah. Oh, that's all she gets, that tiny little clap? Come on, y'all. We ain't doing the show until we get it real good. Whoops, I just did something wrong. There you go. Give it up for Leah. All right, let's dig back into this madness real quick then. So the forest fires are out of control, y'all. Out of control everywhere. And you know, here's the thing that's crazy is they were out of control last year. They're out of control the year before. They're out of control the year before that, right? So, no way. That's Lone Wolf. Yo, whenever anybody comes on my show and says some dope shit, that's what they're going to get. That's the Lone Wolf, buddy. Hey, we do got a couple special guests floating around, maybe, that we're trying to get, but no promises. Oh man, this is gonna be. Bloom. Let's try. Lamb. I'm in. What? Hold on. Sorry. I was just trying to holler at Diction because I know right about now people are going to start going, where's Diction? Hey, you know the craziest thing to me, man, is how many people intentionally start these fucking fires, man. Hey, here's a tweet talking shit. Talking shit about Ted, which I'm always pretty down with. If this is who's advising Ted Wheeler, then it's no wonder all his policies are antipathetic towards BLM protesters. It's pretty clear our mayor doesn't care about this issue, even a smidgen. Time for a new mayor who will listen. You know, that's a good word, man. Antipathetic. And it's important to understand what antipathetic means, right? Like antipathy. So there's like empathy and sympathy. That's on one side of the spectrum. Then in the middle, there's apathy. You don't care. But then at the other end, the sinister end is antipathy, right? You're actually like, you care against it. Right? I don't even know who does that. Besides your mom. My bad. Let's go back into the tweets, yo. Into the tweets, yo. You know, I came up with a new word last night. It's called Ted Visible. And Ted Visible, it means that you only exist on the internet. Yo, what's this? You're out. Let's see it again. You're out. Sorry, I just like to. All right, who cares? Lieutenant Governor Green says new rules for Oahu gatherings aren't enough to rein in COVID-19 surge. Man, I heard it's getting bad. On the island. Oh, shit. Do we get to watch this? Friday on Nat Geo. These hungry hyenas will do anything for a bite. Anything? Will they eat it, Jack in the Box? We'll find out this week.
Sebe and sister reunite.
That was a Jack in the Box ad. Man, this is what we're talking about. This shit. Hey, you guys know pretty soon, now that I got my shit together, we're going to be able to bring back Strange Game on Volcano. Yep. Super excited about that. Super excited. We're going to have a new look. It's not just going to be me just screaming that the moon is fake like it was last time. Hey, this is an incredible documentary right here. Unacknowledged, an expose of the world's greatest secret. It's really incredible. We should be talking more about Antarctica. It pisses me off that I don't have my other show. It pisses me off that the world sucks so bad that I need a show where I talk about this stuff, right? I just want to talk about pyramids. I just want to talk about crop circles. I just want to talk about stone walls. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about how the hell those cave paintings are 30, 40,000 years old. Who made those? And why the heck is there so many different levels of communication going on in one painting, right? And why am I leaning into my microphone? I could fix that a little bit. Okay. So let's keep it moving. Hey, you know what? Real quick, check this out. Fuck the Astros, man. They steal signs. Look, I thought it was dope. When they won the World Series, I was actually in Houston. And I was like, yo, this is really cool. Hey, here's a new study. ABC 13 Houston said kids with no COVID-19 symptoms are more contagious than sick adults. What does that even mean? Yo, that's my new high five though right there. That same one those kids are doing. This one right here. Bloosh. Bloosh. That's how Shake Everybody's saying. That's how I'm going to do it for the end of time. Critics of vote by mail say they're concerned about signature verification. So how is it actually done? Tonight on KATU News. Right? Check this out, though. The news is so dirty, man. They will run a commercial that is like, is there a murderer standing behind you right at this exact moment? We will tell you tonight at 11. Like, is there something in your house? Whoops, forgot my face. Is there something in your house that can kill your family in 30 minutes? We'll tell you in 35 minutes. That's what the news is about. So you can tune in to that, or I'll just tell you. Not a lot of suspense on my show. Okay, so this guy says, did you hear where Trump was saying that the reason for the COVID was because God was testing him with the economy, and that Trump thought it was God's way of saying he can do a better job of rebuilding the economy the second time around? Trump will really say and do anything. And if it's on my Twitter, I absolutely believe it. So I don't need to go fact check it, right? Yo, fuck fact checkers, right? Man, you guys will literally boo anybody I tell you to. You're so predictable. All right. New Jersey voters weigh in on the White House race. Let's see.
In their own country, right? Could work, live with their own children. Now they have nothing. They're eating out of garbage. Now they came to Peru. I went to Peru back in 2018. They were in Peru asking for work when they had it more than we did. They were doing better than Peru was doing then.
That is just crazy. I don't even know how to explain what that was. They had more than Peru. Nancy Pelosi is endorsing Joe Kennedy. That's like the last thing I care about. But other people do. Hi, I'm Nancy Pelosi. Why did that make you guys laugh? I have no idea why just a picture of Nancy Pelosi would make somebody laugh. Okay. Probably because people usually crack jokes about it. This isn't that kind of show. Maryland was just approved for a female lost wages grant. Shout out to Maryland, I guess. Whoa, this is trippy. German dog owners. Why wouldn't they have a picture of a German Shepherd right there? If there was ever a time to do a thing about German Shepherds, it would be when there is a story about German dogs. Right? Let's get it. Dog owners in Germany could be legally required to let their pets out at least twice a day for a total of 1 hour under the terms of the proposed regulations. They could just send them to the Justice Center. That's the same amount of time you get out there. Okay, 1 in 5 respondents said their savings would last just 2 weeks. Nearly 40% of Americans who lost their jobs during the pandemic can't last 2 weeks. What are they supposed to do? Literally, what are people supposed to do? They've allowed themselves to just participate in the status quo to the point where it doesn't even give them any freedom. Like, the only outside of the box thing they've ever probably done is try to sell those yoga pants. You know what I'm saying? Those LuLaRoes or whatever. I don't know what they're called. I don't wear them, but I would if somebody just gifted me a pair. But I'm not paying any money for it. Okay, so let me find this real quick. Oh, see, this keeps happening. So that lady that was my mentor in the group, she told me to reset my cookies, so I did, right? But that reset all my things. So now I got something I want to show you guys, and this is only. Oh shit! Yeah, you guys should be watching this on YouTube right now. That's dope. It just showed up. Boom. This is what I need. All right, y'all ready for this real quick? Let's just change it up for 1 second on them. Let's do this. Then we'll do this. Hit them with this. Sorry. Hey, give it up for all the producers we got working on this show. Right? They effing deserve it, man. Working hard. Okay, y'all ain't ready for this.
Look, there's Kite Man.
Wait a minute! Is a safe kite made of metal ever?
Never!
Wire or wet string ever?
Never!
Do you stay away from streets, antennas, and power lines?
All the time!
What about frogs?
I like frogs.
What if your kite winds around a power line?
All the time, man!
At Pacific Power.
Blam, y'all didn't even know that was a thing. Shout out to all my people who did, though. I think that would be cool. If we did something like that more often, where I just give y'all a little teaser at night, and then everybody was guessing, and then in the morning I just showed you the answer to it. Okay, now what am I trying to do to get out of here? The only thing that could save me from leaving is if hey, this is a really good tweet. Imagine if in the 40s you saw a swastika on a dude's arm and you got really upset and angry, and then as you got closer, under the symbol it said "Hail Brunch" or some shit. Anyway, your parody mega hat is super cool and clever. It's not. Maybe when LeBron did it. Hey, yo, let's see what this lady has to say.
I have a hunch that every living former president would speak from the same deep well of despair. Obama's speech shook me because of his despair laid bare. And if you have been the president, you probably have a well of fury that started the first day of the transition when Donald Trump and his son tried to set up a back channel to Russia to go around the intelligence community. By the way, there are a bunch of stars at the CIA from members of the intelligence community that died protecting this country's national security. First thing that Trump did when he won was to liken them to Nazis. So we cannot fathom the fury and the despair and the rage that every former living president, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the dead ones too, feel when they watch Donald Trump. And I've not seen any living president tap that well of despair and be vulnerable enough to share it with the country. But that is my theory of the case of what President Obama did tonight.
They were not clapping for that dude. Oh, shit. I forgot to tell you guys about this one. Alexei Naval. Oh my gosh, I hate it when people can't pronounce names. It's like if you're going to do a show, go ahead and learn the people's names before you do it. Alexei Navalny is the guy's name. I just stuttered on the pronunciation. This guy right here, he's I believe he's been an opposition candidate, and he's a constant vocal critic of Putin. And guess what? He got poisoned, and he's in a coma, I think, right now. Whoa, do you guys remember this lady? Look, everybody's all happy because it says BLM in the background. That looks super fake to me. It doesn't look like a real letter, but whatever. Who were the Pilgrims' fathers, and what do they believe? You guys just want to stop everything on a Thursday and figure out who the Pilgrims' fathers were? They look like a Christian rock band, though. Look at that second dude. I know that dude. I don't like 3 of that dudes. Your guide to the Pilgrim Fathers plus 6 interesting facts. We're just going to skip that, all right? Well, well, well. What do you know, guys? It looks like we're getting close to the end of another hour. I would stay longer, but I'm really frustrated with my software right now. Oh my god, I always stop it on the stupidest thing. Can we find some animals doing something? Oh, look, somebody saved the day. Somebody saved the day. Boom, at the buzzer. What is up? Ladies and gentlemen, Greg McKelvey. Hey, you like that? Now we got a huge audience.
Yeah, where'd you get that?
Man, they love you, G. They love you.
What, you were about to sign off?
Man, I was just getting bored, man. Getting just like, whatever. It's a sunny day. Perfect timing. What are you doing? How are the children?
They're good. They're at daycare now, which is the best time for me.
Nice. And even though you probably practice horizontal leadership, how's the boss?
She's good.
Okay. Man, great to see you, G.
How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Life blesses me constantly with crazy shit. Man, I'm going to DC.
You got it?
I was going regardless.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I don't need money, like a chunk of money to go. Just
oh, good. I won't donate then. I was waiting until I get paid on Friday to donate, but it's okay.
Man, I can just as long as I got my gas pitch and I can eat peanut butter sandwiches, man, I'm cool. But I do have exclusive content, including peanut butter sandwich recipes that people will gladly pay $25 for. You don't even know I got peanut butter sandwich recipes people I've never even seen before. Whatever. I saved them up for just a special occasion. So what are you doing, man? You're working for Sarah, of course.
Yep. The race is about to heat up.
And you are still active as the executive director. No, as the president of Brown Hope. What's your role at Brown Hope?
Yeah, I'm the board president, so basically means you do work and don't get paid.
Right. And you just hired Cameron?
Yeah, I mean, he's been basically our executive director for 2 years. So
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, now finally there's funding. So now that there's funding, we can hire a staff. So we're lucky. There's going to be like 6 positions or something like that.
Nice. That's super dope, man. You guys are super lucky to have him. He's pretty incredible, man.
He's like found what he's really good at, and he's probably like the best at it. Raising money, so.
Man, yes, he's doing incredible things, and I'm hearing stories all over the city about people that are directly benefiting from his hard work.
Yeah,
and that's. Hey, y'all, give it up for Cameron Whitten. Yeah, hello. Okay, what else is going on with you?
The campaign's about to heat up. After Labor Day is basically full steam. So we're just anything that happens before that is sort of like a bonus, like a little head start in the race. Ted Wheeler has negative $7,000 for his campaign right now. He last month paid more in fines and refunds than he made for his campaign. Whereas we're sitting on right now, I think around $300,000, and we're hoping to, and we're definitely on track to hit our cap for the election, which is $540,000. And so it's going to be big.
There's a cap?
Yeah, because we're in public financing. So because
I knocked on doors. To get that before I went back to Hawaii. So it tickles me to no end to know that I have a small part in destroying Ted. But I didn't know there was a cap. I thought I was pretty familiar with that bill. So
it was like, I think 380 in the primary, and we raised over the cap, but we could only spend that much. And then had we not gotten through, we would have had to return whatever else was there. And then so for the general, I think it's 540. But if Ted for any reason went over it, then the cap is raised. So it's to prevent us from, you know, getting, or a candidate from getting in a situation where they have $2 million in taxpayers' money and just squash their opponent. Which, you know, we maybe could have did. But if he goes over, we'll get the cap will be raised, and we'll be neck and neck with him in fundraising. But I really don't think he's going to do that. It seems like he's thinking he just has it in the bag. I don't know his strategy, but having negative $7,000 is certainly a strategy nobody's really heard.
Is nobody just giving him money? Or is it
no, because what's happening is, in tandem with us having public financing, there's also the campaign limits that just went into effect for him. And so he's used to funding his campaigns with $10,000 checks, $20,000 checks, like that kind of stuff, from organizations and from really rich people. And so you could fund an entire campaign with like 100 donors, which is normal for how he would fund a campaign.
Right.
Now the cap is $500. So he doesn't really, his average donation is like $500 because he's only calling people that would give thousands of dollars, and he's asking them for $500. And they're giving it to him, but there's only so many people that can give you $500, and a lot of them don't even want to give him $500 anymore. And even if, it's not going to add up to anywhere close to what we have.
That is so dope. That is so different than the last election.
Oh my God, yeah. And people don't like realize how powerful of a thing this is, because, you know, not that Sarah would be like a different or bad candidate, but she certainly would not have this much money, which is what does win elections, honestly. But also on top of that, we would not be able to say the things that we're saying we had a different funding mechanism. So she's out here talking about the police and you know, not caring about the Portland Business Alliance and these kinds of things. And historically, you wouldn't be able to do that if you wanted to be competitive, because you would need to go to those people for massive checks. We don't have to go to those people for massive checks. We don't have to go to developers. We don't have to go to realtors. We don't have to go to landlords, like none of that. And I'm not saying that like there's like I don't think that the way that people think of politics, like where there's like a quid pro quo, where Ted calls somebody like a landlord and says, you give me $10,000 and I'll vote against Chloe Udaley's like bills or something like that. I don't think it works like that, but how it does work is I spend my days talking to people like you and people who can afford $20 to a campaign and stuff like that. And because of that, those are my peers, right? Those are the people whose issues I hear about and care about. And it's only natural that the people that you're around have a huge influence on the issues that come to your brain. So if 100% of the people that Ted is talking to for his campaign are talking to him about, wow, these homeless people suck, we need to sweep them, and you know, the police are great, give them more money. If that's what all the people he talks to are saying, then that's going to influence how he feels about it.
Man, Sarah is so lucky to have you. For real, Sarah is so lucky to have you. Who did Sarah endorse in the Loretta Smith Dan Ryan race?
Nobody. Yeah, we basically have
smart to stay far away from that.
But not just that, from anything. It's just we have such an uphill battle, and we're so focused on this race. It's not advantageous for us to be throwing away anybody's vote, whether it's a Loretta Smith supporter or a Dan Ryan supporter. And it's actually hard to see really how that race broke down. I mean, there's a lot of precinct analysis that we've been looking at, but like, for example, historically, the more lefty candidates get the late votes. So for example, on the primary day, Ted actually, when the first results came out, he was above the threshold to get through. It was like 52%. And we had to just slowly watch that tick down, because the people who vote on the last day are just more progressive.
Man, you know what? The same thing happened when I lost to him. You know, everybody lost to him, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when they first announced the results, he had this giant lead, and then it just like throughout the night just kept. It was still a ass whooping, but it was like all the late people were going elsewhere, and then when you look at all the returned and discarded ballots, you're like, man, those are all the late people's ballots, right? Or you would
Exactly. I
already
mean,
known that number.
it's just rich people and more privileged people vote earlier because they check their mail every day. They've lived at the same address for 20 years. They've had the same signature forever, whereas like young people and people of color have been moving around. They have 9 to 5s. They don't check their mail every day. The election isn't the most important or dire thing happening in their lives because they have to like raise for their life. So those late votes always go more progressive, but it was interesting with the Loretta Dan Ryan race, like to think who is the progressive here, or where are the progressive votes going to go. And so when it first came out and Dan Ryan was ahead by just a bit, I thought maybe Loretta's going to get this because those late votes would go to a Black woman because of the times that we're in. And those late votes stayed pretty consistent, but actually swayed a little bit more towards Dan Ryan, which was surprising for me.
You said something a minute ago, and I wanted to stop you then, but I also wanted to hear your analysis of that other race because you're really smart. You said you guys have an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Do you still consider yourselves the underdogs right now with all that money, with all the bad press that Ted gets? You know,
Yeah.
Sarah doesn't even have to do anything. You know, just don't kick a puppy at this point.
We've thought about it. Yeah, like the Joe Biden situation where he basically just locks himself in a basement and lets Trump, flounder.
You know, I'll tell you a funny story before you go any further.
Yeah,
one time, Sarah and I had lunch long after the election, and she said, "Jessie, you should run again." And I said, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah, you should just have a different strategy. You should just get billboards that say vote for Sponberg, and then just turn down every interview. Just don't open your mouth and just get billboards." And I was like, "That's some really good advice." I
don't think you would have won. You got to be on TV too, but maybe if you were on TV, you might win that.
Oh no, it wasn't so much a strategy as it was some good advice for how I could live my life better. Right? It wasn't necessarily campaign advice. It was just friend advice about making yourself more palatable, I think. But yeah, are you guys the underdogs?
I think we're still the underdogs, in part because that's where we're best. Fighting the big guy as the little guy is sort of like the like what we want this campaign to be. But I also think we're just the underdog because there's no like overstating how much institutional power comes with being mayor, but also comes with being one of the richest people in Oregon, and how much people who hold institutional power in our city are going to fight if they see this on the line for them. And it won't be so much about defending Ted Wheeler, but rather it'll be about making sure that Sarah is not mayor. I don't think that a lot of people have a ton of love for Ted Wheeler, but I think there are a lot of people who are worried about their bottom lines, etc. if Sarah were to be elected, because she believes in things like people paying their fair share, finally, and people that are working class having more influence in our city, and that scares a lot of people. I also think, you mentioned all the bad press Ted gets. He's also in the press a lot, so his name is really well known, and voters, oftentimes get their ballot and mark the name that they know. What we have to do is make sure that they don't feel comfortable with that name, even if they know it. This is going to be a strong anti-incumbent general election because Donald Trump is at the top of the ticket. So it is going to be a change election. And so he's in a tough spot. He can't really raise money. He gets a lot of bad press, but it's going to be interesting. All those papers that he gets bad press in endorsed him in the primary. And you know, maybe they'll endorse him again. I wouldn't put it past them. It is really awkward to be the boss of a paper, send your reporters out to go cover protests, and they get beat by Ted Wheeler, all for your boss to end up endorsing Ted Wheeler. It's an awkward situation, but most bosses are like that, you know, where they side with their employees' oppressors. So,
are you guys?
yeah,
Are you
I think we're
guys?
still the underdog.
Are you guys prepared for the inevitable slam piece that's coming? You know, you know they got
October surprise.
something. Yeah. You know how politics in Portland work, man. People sit on dirt, people gossip, that shit grows, people lie on people's names, people will do anything. And the eggshells that you have to walk on and the constant different directions that you have to have a shield up at, you know, and while Sarah is like really a really good person, all you got to do is just say one thing wrong or an old tweet or something, and then all of a sudden all these fake profiles out of nowhere are sharing shit and tagging people and making a bunch of noise.
Yep.
Well, that's the unseen enemy that you can't prepare for unless you prepare for it like Bugs Bunny.
How's that?
By double out tricking them, like knowing that you're walking into a trap. Not quite like Eminem does, but like, I don't know.
I mean, we have surprises ready too, if need be. And the other thing is that Sarah, we're in a good spot there, I think, compared to most politicians, because one, she hasn't been a huge public figure or politician. So little things like, like a gaffe on a news thing in 2016 or something like that. Like those are not as a big of a deal as if you were in elected office at that time, like Ted Wheeler has been for most of his life, or most of his adult life. So
well, what if it comes out all of a sudden that she didn't even know, but like the restaurant was sourcing its gravy from child gravy miners, you know, in the gravy mine. Like, whoa, that's unethical gravy mining. What are you doing?
Yeah, that would be good. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but
luckily,
I do think
Sarah's a really good person, right? You know, and her character's not
but the other thing is she's a really good person, but she's also a person, right? Like anybody, I think part of what we fight against is people who are really connected to the establishment being like, how can we elect this person who's like firing from the hip on Twitter 24/7, right? Like it's like, and yeah, she has a really quick draw.
Because the whole way of comfortable life for these establishment, these old money types that they control the media, I guess, and just the pulse of the city, whether it's from the Mac Club to the Willamette Week to wherever, right, to the newsrooms. They don't want what Sarah represents, though, right? Sarah represents tearing out highways and putting in bike lanes, and Sarah represents clean energy, and Sarah represents getting rid of cars and having bicycles everywhere, right? And she represents slower speed limits. You know, that's a whole way of life that is bigger than just an election, right? And that's when people get really scared, when their actual way of life changes, right? Like right now, if it was the president or Joe Biden, everybody goes, well, what does it matter to me? My quality of life isn't going to change. But Sarah is really a quality of life changing candidate, right? She represents a grander vision than just a new version of the old.
And what we're in part betting on is that because of COVID and the massive protests and all the things that are going on in our society, that people are used to some massive change right now because we're going through a lot as a city and country, but also that they realize that what was their normal is not something that we necessarily need to or should be going back to. And so I think the pandemic and the uprising provide for an opportunity to show like, hey, you never thought your life was going to be disrupted this way. should we go back to exactly what you had before, or should we build something new out of this? So I think it's a unique opportunity for that sort of quality of life, type of life change election, because for most people in Portland, what was normal before COVID and before the uprising was not working anyway. And so now that they're already going through massive change, maybe they'll be more receptive to further change, or at least not going back to that same normal.
You know, I just took a pipe hit, a vape hit, a bong hit, just so that when we're old, I can be like, remember that one time you came on my show and I took a pipe hit, a vape hit, and a bong hit in a row? I just did that for that. Hey, I know you're a busy dude. I know that you got a lot of work to do to save the world for your wonderful children. I hope they're well. I hope the family's well. Any last thing you want to get out there, man?
Nah, just I'll plug the Sarah2020.com. Go follow at Sarah2020. And we're gonna get rid of Ted Wheeler in November.
Yeah, go hug the kids for me. You my guy.
Will do.
5,000. Okay, that was awesome. That was my guy Greg. Give it up for Greg. Sorry about the green screen, man. Sorry about the green screen. I'm really trying to figure it out. I promise, man. I promise. Man, I'm gonna get out of here. I got to fix the green screen problem. I got to make it so I can see the comments. They're too damn small, and I can't figure out how to fix that. That's why there's been no comments on the screen today. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Pay attention. Remember, we're going to Washington, D.C. I'm going either way. I really, 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 from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It makes it so that I don't feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. It's been a lot of fun. In fact, it's been a riot. In fact, we got to declare it a riot.
Subject to arrest and use of force, including crowd control munitions, if you enter the property. If you're a peaceful protester, we are asking you to leave. This is the Portland Police Bureau. We have heard your chants stating the crowd is wanting to enter the property and burn down Southeast Precinct. You are subject to arrest and use of force, including crowd control munitions, if you enter the property. We are also aware of your request to call for additional reinforcements.
And remember, if I don't say 5,000, G, that means somebody else took my phone. Hey, yo, 5,000, G.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate. Choppers a throwaway. Hustle the overweight.